Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week at 4K Kings. I am Russ.
And I am Matt.
And this week we'll be discussing the debut of Heat on 4K, along with The Lost Boys, Real Genius. We're going to show Nicolas Cage some love, a little bit of a review on his new flick, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a little bit of recommendations, and more. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss any of this content. Click the like button, it's free, and keep supporting physical media.
And we're back. Welcome back, Russ.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Of course, as always. So glad to have you. So glad to be back for another week at Blu News Reviews. We are your 4K Kings, as Russ mentioned. I am Matt.
I am Russ.
And we just introduced ourselves a second time for anyone that might have missed it the first time.
Who are you?
Thanks again for joining all of our lovely viewers and subscribers. We appreciate you every single time you come and you check us out and leave us some comments and leave us some likes. We are back again to bring you only the hottest in Blu-ray physical media news and some other things that we've also checked out this week, like...
We're branching out. We're branching out.
Branching out a little bit. You saw Jurassic Park Dominion.
I did. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this one, Matt. Were you interested in seeing Jurassic World Dominion?
Not at all. We also saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That we did.
And I think we maybe go through that a little bit too and discuss our thoughts as well as our recommendations of the week, which I'm happy to share another one of my favorite films with the audience today.
Me too. So what should we dive into first?
Let's get right into the news. So we got a lot of news to cover, actually. There was like almost nothing announced, and all of a sudden, like everything was announced. But the one thing that is just a small update from last week, something that kind of piqued my interest, and I'm kind of happy that this is the case, or this is coming out, is we covered Child's Play in 4K that Scream Factory's putting out, that massive set.
Yes.
And not that long ago, there was an update that said a steelbook was going to be coming out from Best Buy, just for the very first one only, without all the hoopla, all the posters and whatever.
Does it carry the same features, though?
It does carry the same features. It's still coming from Shout Factory, Scream Factory. It's the same, in essence, the same release. Now, there was an update on the features, actually, that just was posted for Child's Play 1, and there's nothing really new. It is just a lot of the previous stuff. But you're going to be getting the same stuff on this release as you would with the 4K regular release that you could get. So I'm kind of interested in picking this up.
I know. That's the way to go in my mind.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. There's no pre-order for it yet, but I actually like the steelbook concept. I love that they kept the original art. I think that looks great.
That's the original art?
The original poster art, I believe.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been so many I don't remember the VHS cover looking like that, but that doesn't mean it wasn't the original poster theatrical artwork.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this. I can't wait. It's coming out August 16th in 2 months, just like the rest of them. But I think this might be a day one buy for me.
Like I said, the price that Shout was asking for that set, and even individually, I get that they're throwing in a lot of tchotchkes, as you say, and it's a cool set for fans. I'm not just a little steep price-wise for me. I'm with you, dude. I like this, and I do like that cover. I just wish, I hope they do 2. I'll settle for them not doing a steelbook on 3, but if they do 2, Best Buy, hook me up. I'll day one purchase on both of these, because 2 is that good.
2 is that good.
It's that good.
I know, and you're not the only one that has said that to me since we aired that segment, so it's kind of piqued my interest as well. But
check it out. It's the Evil Dead 2 of Child's Play. So everything you liked about the first one, it's just turned up to 11. That's a good comparison, actually. Go in thinking that's the approach, Evil Dead 2.
Okay. Well, this is definitely going to get my money for sure. And I mean, I guess it's up to you because you can get the single regular release too. You don't have to get all those massive bundles, but I don't know. I kind of like a steelbook for this. I think it looks kind of neat.
I do.
I think it looks cool.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So that's coming out again August 16th. But the hottest news of the week is Heat is coming out in 4K.
I see what you did there.
You like that? So Heat has finally been announced in 4K. It's been rumored since God knows how long, and Disney's finally getting off the pot and putting this thing out for all the fans that have been dying to get this thing. So here it is it's coming out August 9th, Ultra HD. You're getting a regular version and a Steelbook version. And the transfer notes that they give here is a previously remastered version. So a previously remastered transfer is what you're getting here. Mm-hmm. And when they say previously remastered, they're referring to that definitive director's cut that came out on Blu-ray not that long ago. They did a 4K scan of that for Blue, and then it was on Blu-ray. But they're basically just using that same, that same scan, that same negative, and just giving you the Ultra HD version. So
yes.
What the upgrade in quality could possibly be, who knows? I can't imagine, even though it says HDR, maybe the colors will be a little bit more vibrant.
Blue.
Maybe a little bit more blue, yeah.
This is Michael Mann we're talking about here. A little bit more neon.
Yeah, a little bit more neon.
This actually is, it lacks the neon of some other Michael Mann city features.
You're right, yeah. No, it's just very blue, very serious. And I actually didn't know what some of these changes were to the definitive director's, version, but I guess there's like a whole different color timing from the, there's a whole different color timing from the theatrical version. And I guess the sound mix is a little bit different in certain spots. So I don't know personally how much of a difference there is, but I do see a lot of people saying, I wish we were getting the theatrical in 4K.
I heard a lot of people saying they wish they could hear Carlito's thoughts on this release as the man who, well, they say this, Al Pacino.
Al Pacino?
They say that this actor resembles Carlito.
They do say that. There have been people that have said that, but I would like to know his thoughts as well.
Can I point this out? I'm
yes.
a big fan. I'm looking at this now. You pulled this up. Mm-hmm. That it features, and I don't recall this being on the release, the 4K scan Blu-ray. The Academy panel reuniting Mann, Pacino, and De Niro, moderated by Christopher Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is rich because Christopher Nolan remade this movie.
He did. I actually do believe that this was on the...
Was it?
Yeah, none of these are new features for this release. This is everything that has come before on that collector's edition, director's version that he put out. All these like deleted scenes, like you said, this panel, there's a Q&A with Michael Mann, audio commentary, Michael Mann, a making of Heat. I mean, the stuff on here is very full. Like some of these, like the making of is almost an hour long. So there's a lot of really great features on here. Mm-hmm. And I just don't know if the upgrade will be worth it. And then it comes down to which version do you want, because neither of these are, I mean, the first one kind of is the original poster art, but the second one, which again, in a steelbook, I feel like would kind of be cool, but it's just like Robert De Niro staring out a window. Like, I don't know that just looks stupid to me, doesn't it? And like, here's Al Pacino kind of like 50% like faded into the background, just carrying a machine gun. That's just not compelling.
De Niro's looking out the window longingly, just in case the heat's coming around the corner in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
it's poetic.
I guess so. And even the back of it, like just these 5 dudes on the street, it's very plain. I feel like this is a miss.
It is. I guess I prefer the steelbook art over the other one. The other one just feels Photoshop, generic, black and white.
Definitely.
But I'm with you. If you're going to go with that cover, just do the original cover. The original cover on a steelbook, in those tones, that would be beautiful.
Even the Michael Mann director's version or whatever. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Like even that, the skyline, I mean,
it's more ominous.
Yeah, like this is right. Like this is the cover for that, and it looks awesome. Like this is cool. Like you get it. Like you know what movie you're watching, and you put that on a steelbook, that'd be sick.
That's true. If you go back to just the non-steelbook edition, it looks like the cover for Ronin or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like that one scene in the movie where they're all carrying machine guns, and that's literally the cover that defines the movie. I mean, this movie's 3 hours
That's
long.
a pretty long heist scene, though.
I mean, I guess it's like half the movie.
That's a
half the 3-hour run.
That's a badass shootout.
Yeah, it's half the 3-hour runtime, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts? You going to pick this thing up? Not going to pick this thing up?
Price.
Comes
like
down to
you
price.
said, honestly, when I picked up the director's cut version, I think you picked it up as well.
I have it, yeah. And I watched it. I think it's great.
I remember when it came out, I think I spent like $9 on it. I remember it being very cheap. Mm-hmm. So the double dip on this isn't going to sting as hard.
Yeah.
But nah, I'm not going to drop $30 to upgrade Heat. And let's be real, the length of the film, it's going to be very few times I will sit down and rewatch it from beginning to end.
Yeah, and I don't know that. I think what it's going to come down to for me is the screenshot comparison, because if it's really drastically different, that's such an improvement, then certainly. But if it's just a little bit, then I'm fine probably with what I've got.
I'm with you. Drastic picture difference and reasonable price will be what determines me picking this up.
Yeah, and I don't know that the audio track is any different too from the previous release also. So, this has a pretty bombastic.
I just wish they had a feature commentary with Tone Loc.
Is Tone Loc in this?
Yeah, dude. Remember Al Pacino goes to meet him? He's like an informant.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Well, I'm with you. I would wait and see. But this comes out, let me see. This is out on August 9th. So kind of right around the corner. And I'd be excited to kind of talk through Heat again, maybe rewatch it, around the time that this is coming out.
That was so badass what you just said. You said this is Heat and it's coming out right around the corner. That's it's the whole mantra of the movie.
I have a script written here. I'm literally reading things I've
never attach yourself to something that you can't leave in 30 seconds if you feel the heat coming around the corner. That was beautiful. August, heat, summer. These guys are knocking it out of the park. We're on fire today.
Yeah. I mean, can you live without this Heat release? Maybe.
It is fire.
It is fire. But even though this is the hottest news of the week, the most important news of the week to me, Russ, the most absolutely important news to me is that out of the blue, and what's in some alternate universe that we're all of a sudden living in, where they are going to put out Real Genius in 4K.
I was so excited to text you this news.
Oh my God. And
that's the artwork?
This is the artwork for this movie.
Dude, that's cool.
I freaking love it. And
I was not expecting that.
So Sony's actually putting this out. It's not some, alternate label or anything. Sony's putting this out September 13th. I've already pre-ordered it instantaneously. And it honestly is the most surprising news I feel like I've ever heard since 4K has been a format. Like, this was never a movie I felt was going to get anything anywhere. And not only that, I think what I'm even more surprised by is that there's literally new stuff involved. Like, there's actual new things that, whether it's upgraded to the picture or the sound or features and behind the scenes that were never seen before, like, it's someone is looking at all this Val Kilmer love out there and is like, we've got to capitalize on him immediately.
I didn't realize he was receiving this much love.
Dude, Heat in 4K, now Real Genius in 4K.
You're right. Whoa.
And not only that, but here, this is just speculation on my part. There is a trailer on Disney Plus for a Willow TV show, which he is not in, but I feel like to kind of bump that out, here's a Willow 4K maybe, and that's another Val Kilmer. I mean,
even The Doors made it to 4K.
Did The Doors make it to 4K?
Yeah, Val Kilmer, he's a 4K king.
He is a 4K king.
He's an honorary 4K king, Mr. Kilmer.
Kilmer, we love you. And we also talked about Tombstone. That was that was a rumor in 4K. So this
at this point, is there anything in his filmography that is not on 4K?
What's that?
True Romance?
Spy? What is it? What was that movie? Spy Hard?
Is that what you're confusing Val Kilmer with Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of The Saint, I believe.
No. He was in. Wasn't he in like a Zucker Brother?
Oh, Top Secret.
Top Secret. Yeah.
Top Secret's rad.
Yeah.
Going back on what you said, yes, this news is just as out of the blue for me as if they announced Top Secret in 4K.
Top Secret. I mean,
and that would have been a day one purchase for me as well.
I don't know.
But this is completely random. I know I've known you a long time. I know you are a giant fan of this film. And it is. It's a cool. You're a bigger fan than I am, but I appreciate its quirkiness. It stands out from its era. It's a special, nice little movie, man. It's a hidden gem, I'd call it. I think
I call it a hidden gem too. And if there's anyone out there that hasn't seen it, check it out. When this comes out when this comes out in September, we'll have a little video up about it, and I'd love to share my thoughts in a lot more detail. But in the meantime, if this isn't something that you have seen, and you love 80s comedies at all, and you love Val Kilmer or anything like it, just give it a try. Now, this release itself is getting a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative approved by Martha Coolidge. Like, she came out of the woodwork to approve a restoration of this film. A restoration with Dolby Vision, HDR, Dolby Atmos soundtrack. Like, what?
I demand this treatment for just one of the guys.
I was gonna say the same thing. What's next? Just one of the guys? I mean, come on,
Please.
make it happen.
No sarcasm.
Zero sarcasm.
Want that 110%.
Yeah. So my DVD had Squat on it, and now on disc 2, there's a Blu-ray which gives you deleted scenes. Like, it's actually in the trailer where Chris Knight's being like floated away by balloons on a chair, but it's not in the movie. So now you're gonna get that, I guess, on here. A TV version of the film, which I guess some minor language was like altered, and there's like maybe like one extended sequence towards the end, but essentially it's the same movie. But they're even including that if that was something that you grew up on watching it on TV and you wanted that version. So a lot of really interesting things coming with it. And like you said, Russ, this art is so goofy. I freaking love it.
It is.
You know what it reminds me of? As if Vestron put this out.
It does. It does.
Doesn't that look like a Vestron release? I almost thought, wow, that would have been cool if they did. And that almost feels like a movie they would put out.
It does look like a Vestron clear. Or even I could see an MVD.
Yeah.
Rewind kind of cover.
Absolutely. I'm blown away that Sony themselves are putting this out.
That is so odd. So cool, yet odd.
So cool. So well done all around for this, in my opinion, 80s classic with all the upgraded picture and sound and features and new cover art, slipcase, maybe the old art's underneath there, who knows, but they really did a great job. I mean, I'm really impressed by what they've done. So get that. Are you going to get this, Russ?
I've never owned it before.
No?
You are a bigger fan than I am, but I enjoy it. I don't know. This is one of those titles that's right on the line of I don't love it enough to where I'm like, hell yeah, I got to pick it up.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy it enough to where it's like, man, I would like to own it. So it's like, it's right on that line.
I've only ever owned this on DVD, so I'd be really excited to see this in 4K. I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Was there a Blu-ray release?
I think there was, yeah, but I only ever owned the DVD, so yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do with it. So it's awesome. It's coming out September 13th. Thank you, Sony, for making my week.
There you go.
And then tying into Jurassic Park, I know we mentioned that you watched Jurassic World Dominion, but tying in with that, and there's actually no release date yet, but to tie in with Dominion itself, we are going to be getting a gigantic package here from Universal, which is containing all the films. And you're going to get it in a gigantic box in the limited version that has a Velociraptor statue. And inside of that box is the little case that all the movies come in. And it's all 6 films. You got 4Ks, you got Blu-rays in there. I mean, these movies have been released like countless times. This is just an excuse to throw Dominion in it. That's basically it.
Yes, of course. Even the original, it was like, here's the 4K 3D, here's the 3D version.
Yeah. They've given you all kinds of 4K packages, iterations, 1 through 3, 1 through 5, like all of it.
This I don't know. Are they officially stopping now? Is this going to be the definitive complete set?
That's a really good...
Is Jurassic Park, that's still a moneymaker. I don't feel like, especially I've seen the new one, and nothing in it suggested that, hey, we're done.
We're done.
There's plenty of things to keep going in that universe to make money if they choose to. So I don't know. I'm always weird. Like, I don't care at all. I wouldn't pick this up anyway. But that always kind of irks me when it's, man, these are going to keep going, and then this set's going to be incomplete, as beautiful as it admittedly is.
Yeah. Well, it's a very nice set. That Velociraptor could sit well on your shelf at home, Russ. And we'll discuss Dominion later. There's no news on these features whatsoever, but it's safe to guess it's just like a repackaging. So there was a ton of features on the disc before, so you're still going to get all that stuff, I'm sure. Yeah. It's $109 just to buy the films.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this set was $109, and I was like, wow, that's actually a good price.
I would have been blown away too. I would have thought that Velociraptor was like a paperweight then. And $190 for the Velociraptor. So I mean, 81 more bucks for that statue and certificate.
In comparison, how much was that Child's Play 1 through 3 set? That was above 190, wasn't it?
Yes, that was above. It was 200 something to get the whole shebang.
So I guess if you're inexplicably a fan of the entire Jurassic Park and World Series, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal. So that comes out again. No real release date, but I'm sure when this comes out, you'll also be able to get Dominion in 4K and whatever. But keep your eyes peeled for all you Jurassic Park fans. I wouldn't mind just picking up the first one and calling it a day, but I'm not in any hurry. And then moving on to a couple of rumors that I saw, which I found to be interesting. Now, there really isn't any rumor or news necessarily about this next one, other than an Amazon UK link for something titled The Lost Boys Ultimate Collector's Edition Steelbook, region-free, 2022 4K Ultra HD. It sounds very similar to the naming conventions of a lot of those Zavvi releases, similar to Edge of Tomorrow. They put out a Ultimate Collector's Edition Steelbook release, and it was, the cards and the postcards and the posters and, all the little tchotchkes that come with it. So while that doesn't explicitly say that, I don't know why you would call something the Ultimate Collector's Edition Steelbook unless maybe there was going to be a little bit more to it. And also the UK,
Sounds like it.
And the UK is known for that like Zavvi's known for doing that. And this is a UK link, so I feel like this is like the initial, like posting for what's to come, which will probably be a regular release, a Steelbook release, a fun packaging release. I don't know what US will get, but this is the first solid anything that has been seen for the Lost Boys, which has been rumored since like last year.
And they even put it right in the title, region free, in case anyone's confused.
Yeah, they want you to know.
That's a title people are going to buy.
Yep. Yeah, they want you,
globally.
for sure. They want you to know. Yeah, so I could definitely see Zavvi doing something with this.
Yeah.
I don't know about US and what their, who is the studio that does this?
That did Lost Boys.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it says it on here. I don't see it.
It was Warner Brothers, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if like Warner or whoever put this out in the U.S. would do something, but I don't know. A Steelbook would be nice. I mean, that's what this says. It would be in line with some of their other releases. It could be good. The Steelbook art could be crap. Who knows? But it's exciting that this is being kind of floated out there. I'm interested in getting this when it comes out. Are you? No.
Again, this is one of those ones that's on the line for me.
It's on the line.
There's plenty of things I love about the Lost Boys, but there's plenty of things I'm kind of on about it,
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay.
Strictly based on nostalgia, of course. I'm like you, and I'm sure many other people. I watched this as a child all the time, so I enjoy it. I'm not denouncing it, but again, price. I do own a Blu-ray of Lost Boys. I believe it was the first one that came out. I did pick that up, and it had some features on it from what I recall. I need more information. Information.
I could see this if it's one of those similar packages that Zavvi puts out. It's in the $50 range for sure before shipping, and then the original regular flat cardboard slipcase version. That'll probably just be the regular ass thing from before, just with the upgraded disc. That'll probably be in a decent price range, but
there's more of a likelihood I would pick this up over Real Genius.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Lost Boys than Real Genius.
Okay.
I watched it more as a child.
Well, so we'll keep everyone posted on this. I'm going to be excited the more news that comes out. When we finally get art and all that kind of stuff, we'll definitely keep everyone posted once there's an actual link. I mean, this is a pre-order day one for me. One other rumor that I saw, and this was just something that was posted on Instagram. So there's no official news about it, but there's been some talk about it from people behind the scenes that are working on this release, and that is a 4K Ultra HD of David Cronenberg's Videodrome coming out from Arrow.
Now that will be a day one for me.
Day one.
That's a day one. That's a pre-order.
It says here, courtesy of Park Circus, restored in 4K in 2022 by Arrow Films under the supervision of James White and James Piercy at Silver Salt Laboratory. From the original 35mm camera negative and intermediate elements preserved at NBC Universal. This restoration has been approved by David Cronenberg. I've never seen it. Never saw it.
It's like his best movie.
Well, fuck me.
I can see. I mean, it's either it's either. Well, I said that because you love The Fly, and the debate is always pretty much The Fly or Videodrome.
Okay,
would be his best work,
and that's Peter Weller. Is Peter Weller involved? That guy looks like Peter Weller on the poster.
James Woods.
Oh, okay. Okay. I could.
James Woods.
It's a drawing. I'm sorry. It's a drawing on the poster.
Well, ironically, Peter Weller did work with Cronenberg on Naked Lunch, but it's him. Debbie Harry's in it. Long live the new flesh, man. You've got to check this out. You will dig this movie. This is honestly. You'll watch this movie and probably think to yourself, I'm surprised Russ likes this because it's more in your sci-fi alley, I feel like.
Really? Well,
yeah.
I mean,
it's the body horror and all that we know from Cronenberg, especially from this era. But there's this is in your wheelhouse for sure.
Well, yeah,
And I'm sure everyone in the comments is going to say you're out of your mind for not seeing Videodrome.
probably. And now that you're saying that, and now that it looks like Arrow's going to put something out for it, maybe this is my chance. Maybe this is my time. I don't know. Has
think you
Arrow
should
put this out on
blind buy
Blue
it.
before?
Criterion has. I have the
Criterion
Criterion Blue of Videodrome.
Gotcha. Okay.
You should blind buy it.
Blind buy.
I'd feel confident in telling you to blind buy this one. Because I know how much you love The Fly. Actually, even Cronenberg in general. You like a lot of his stuff, for the most part. Yeah, dude.
That's high praise.
It is high praise. What are your thoughts on James Woods?
I love
Not
James
as a
Woods.
human being. He fails at that. But I mean as an actor.
Love him. I think he's
Love
awesome.
him. Oh, dude. And I don't even like James Woods.
In most things that I've seen him in where he's playing... Like let me just think of the movies
he's
that I've
playing
seen
that
him in.
role in this movie.
Like a
exactly
sleazy
what
dude,
yeah.
like sleazy, like
Yep.
that. Even
Out for himself, kind of
Totally.
like cocky.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he is.
Total
in this
sleazy
movie.
dude. I love
and he's
that.
in over his head, like incredibly with what is happening to him. So yes,
yeah, no, and what's funny is I had never seen the movie Hercules before, the Disney animated film, and my son watched it for the first time not that long ago on Disney Plus. And James Woods is the villain. He plays Satan essentially, or whatever the version
Wow.
of whatever the version of
Hercules goes hard.
Yeah, like the maybe it's not Satan himself. It's like I don't know. I don't remember the version of Satan in that time frame in those mythologies or whatever. But his take, even in this cartoon, is like a sleazy kind of car salesman-y kind of guy, and it's
just who he is.
It just works. It just totally works. So I love that.
Whenever I see James Woods is who he is in Casino.
Yeah, no, yeah. And this Cat's Eye anthology I was telling you about, his segment is so good as a guy who's trying to quit cigarettes, and he goes to a company that's going to follow him around and watch him, and they kidnap his wife, and just because he's like trying to sneak cigarettes, and he's super paranoid and sleazy at the same time.
And my jokes aside about James Woods, he does that perfectly.
He does.
He's perfectly cast in those kinds of roles.
Yeah. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on this too. It's cool that's Arrow. It's an awesome announcement. And then one other little rumor again that I saw was in regards to an interview that someone had given, or I'm sorry, someone was on a commentary discussing a person named Dan Farrens was commenting on his Facebook that he's recording a new commentary with Marianne Hagen for Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. And then he kind of hinted at it being a Shout Factory 4K release for somewhere around Halloween this year. Again, it's just a rumor. It's just this guy kind of like indicating
that makes
some things.
Sense.
It'd be cool.
We predicted that they're going to probably do this because they went to 1 through 5.
Yeah. Now
which was kind of inexplicable. Well, I mean, I guess you stop with Jamie Lloyd, but
where's Curse of Michael Myers? What number is that?
Ironic. What number is it?
In
Just
the series,
6.
yeah.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's literally the next one.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Okay.
So if this is a rumor, I would believe it.
Okay.
Well, 6 is the one that it always was this bootleg cut that existed, where the uncut version. You know what I mean? There was always this debate. There was a version of Halloween 6 that existed that wasn't tampered with, that was supposedly so much better. I want to say Scream Factory even put it out at one point.
Okay.
But I don't know. I guess that's interesting to some completists if this will be that bootleg cut in 4K.
I wonder if they're going to keep that same art style too, because 1 through 5 all were done by that same artist. I wonder if they're going to give you like a number 6 version, or they're going to kind of break
sure
type.
They will.
That would.
I'm sure they will.
That would irk. I feel like irk completionists to put number 6 next to your 1 through 5, and it looks different. Same company, same everything. Like that would. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, even the original artwork, Halloween's 1 through 5, are superior to Halloween 6. Halloween 6 just looks like some 90s generic horror movie
like
poster.
Scream.
Yeah, if you're going to update any artwork, please do Halloween 6.
Yeah. Well, again, no really other news other than someone commenting on it.
I had a rumor. I got a rumor
What's
for
your
you.
what's your rumor?
Lost Highway 4K coming from Criterion. Not confirmed, but reliable sources have stated this. Okay. And let's face it, Lynch has a great relationship with Criterion. It's all but happening.
Wow. Would you get that in 4K?
I'm interested to rewatch Lost Highway. It's been many moons since I viewed it. But my thoughts on Lost Highway, it's my least favorite David Lynch film that I've seen. And I've seen pretty much everything up until Lost Highway. After Lost Highway, it's spotty, but pretty much everything up until that point I've seen. I would say it's his worst. But I'm open to I was young when I saw it. I mean, I was like 15 or something.
So times have changed. So in this case, rewatching it, it would be a new experience, and you could maybe like it, and the director didn't fail.
When
it's just you weren't ready for it.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. When Lost Highway came out, it had a soundtrack with Nine Inch Nails and
Rammstein.
Yes.
The soundtrack was good.
And the only film I had seen by David Lynch, or I'm sorry, I saw 2 David Lynch films by the time that had come out. I had seen Blue Velvet and Wild at Heart. And both of those, while strange, kind of, they have a narrative you can follow. Whereas Lost Highway, from what I recall, is more traditional, kind of like Mulholland Drive or an Eraserhead, or you don't know. You know, it's confusing.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, I was a 15-year-old kid. You are the perfect drug. And I'm watching this, and it makes no sense to me. You know, that's what I mean. Being more familiar with Lynch as an adult, I would like to give it a rewatch with fresh eyes.
Okay.
But
I can get down with that. I mean, I'm with you. I saw it when it came out and had no idea what was going on. It was so bizarre. I just loved the soundtrack. But now I am a bigger fan of his work in Mulholland Drive. I've watched several times now, and I've really grown to appreciate that over time. And now maybe this will be the same thing.
Eraserhead first for you.
Yeah, I got to catch up on a lot. But
Eraserhead first, man. It's his best movie.
His best movie. Videodrome, best movie. And
Videodrome tied with The Fly.
With The Fly. Well, let's talk about some foreign releases really quickly. So, like a companion piece to the Jurassic Park 4K set in the US, Zavvy's going to do their thing and give you a steelbook version of the exact same thing, except it's going to be housed in that typical gigantic steel tin with all the kind of like foam separators in between each one.
It looks cool.
I mean, it looked, yeah. I mean, I don't mind that at all. I mean, if you want to put something that big on your shelf, that's kind of cool. The other one's a lot less bulky, and it kind of maybe takes up like a quarter of the space, whereas this is like a conversation piece. You do not get the Raptor, but you do get this pretty cool box. Now, I've bought maybe once, maybe twice in my life something like this from Best Buy, and it's always come dented or scratched almost in every scenario. I know we talked about steelbooks a long time ago, that kind of stuff about how they're always banged up, but these bigger ones, I've never had any success with. It's almost like you should go to the store, if they even have them there, and scope out the one that is not banged up at all. I don't know. So Jurassic Park. Another, I don't know that this is even worth an upgrade. I just thought it was kind of funny that I saw an Amazon UK link for Christmas Vacation coming out in 4K, which again is region free. And I've owned this on DVD and Blu-ray, and it's something that you don't probably need the 4K upgrade. Nobody's really watching this in their home theater probably. They just like have this on TV in the background while they're wrapping presents. But it's kind of interesting that they're putting this out. You know, the studio's putting it out. I don't know. Maybe just UK is going to get that love.
It's an easy sell.
An easy
it's
upgrade.
An easy present. That I don't know what to get Dad for Christmas.
Yeah.
4K Christmas Vacation.
Easy. Thanks.
Easy peasy.
And then Dad says, "Thank you, son. It's the gift I've always wanted."
And then you tell Dad the shitter's full.
And then the last foreign news that I saw is this movie, Brotherhood of the Wolf, which I know Scream Factory's released, and this kind of has like a little bit of an underground following as well. I've seen this movie. I thought it was pretty cool. It's like a werewolf / martial arts kind of a blend. Mm-hmm. And this movie has never come out in 4K. This is the first time that it's coming out in 4K. It's coming out in France, which is its native. This is a French film. So they're putting this out in kind of a nice box. It comes with like a comic book, or maybe it's storyboards. I'm not sure. But it's been a while since I saw this movie too, and once I saw this, I thought maybe it just reminded me of it, that maybe giving this a look would be pertinent, since it's been quite some time. But have you ever seen this movie, Ross? Is this in your wheelhouse?
I have not seen this, man, no.
Have you ever heard of this movie?
I've heard of Monica Bellucci.
Have you heard of Mark Dacascos?
Actually, I have. How do I know that name?
Yeah, from that, what's that movie where he does like that Brazilian capoeira fighting? You know what movie I'm talking about? And he's also the Iron Chef guy. And he's also in a movie called Drive, that Vinegar Syndrome, I think it was them that just put it out in 4K. Any of that ringing a bell?
No.
Mark Dacascos.
I know the name.
Yeah.
That name sounds familiar. I'd have to see a picture. Oh, it has Seymour Cassell in it.
Yeah. My boy. I mean, it's got an interesting cast. It's an interesting premise. I feel like it's done really well. That's what I mean. I remember watching it around the time it came out, and I'd be interested in seeing it again. But for anybody that is interested, that is coming out September 23rd in France only.
Tell me in the comments, should I watch it? Am I missing something here?
Vive la
Sounds
France.
funny.
Vive la France.
A Wolfman martial arts movie.
Yeah, a little bit of martial arts. Kind of interesting.
Sounds good. Sounds like Wolf Cop.
Part 2.
Another Wolf Cop is good.
What about the next Wolf Cop? Is that the third one?
Matt, there's only 2 Wolf Cops.
Stop trying to confuse me with how many Wolf Cops there are.
I'm trying to test my knowledge.
So Russ, stop teasing the fans. You said that you watched Jurassic Park Dominion.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Jurassic World Dominion. Get it right. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I've seen the original Jurassic Park, and that's it. I have not seen 2 or 3, and I haven't dived into this.
Doved.
Yes, I haven't jumped into this recent trilogy whatsoever. It did not seem like I really needed to. It just didn't really seem too much like I cared. And now I'm interested to hear what the third movie in this saga is all about.
Well, to me, it's the 6th movie in a saga.
Well, yes, you're right. The third movie in this recent trilogy.
Yeah, this alone tells you what a mess it is.
It's a mess.
My history, I respect Jurassic Park. I think it's a really, really good movie. I don't love it as much as most people. Kind of like you, I never saw Lost World until about 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. This is a roundabout way of me saying, for some reason, I have seen every Jurassic Park movie with the exception of the one prior to Dominion. And I don't know how that happened, because I'm not...
How did that happen?
When Jurassic Park 3 came out, I was with some people who wanted to go see it, ended up seeing it. Kids, having children.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the first Chris Pratt Jurassic World, and then I just saw this one because of...
I'm going to assume. I mean,
I don't have children. I just,
how is Chris
random
Pratt?
Kids.
Generic Chris Pratt character.
I mean, Chris Pratt just plays one.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's Star-Lord mixed with, I guess, Indiana Jones, which that's not too much of a difference even right there.
Yeah.
The movie's a mess, dude. It does not trust its audience. It's aimed at its lowest common denominator filmmaking. You can't go 3 minutes without some action spectacle happening.
And all the original characters are back for this one. Am I wrong?
With the exception of the ones that passed away and the 2 kids. Like, what were they? Tim and
Which
Lex?
one passed away? Sir David Attenborough?
Well, I think they killed him in the movie.
I just
meant like Newman's not showing up. You know what I mean? Like whoever died, not in real life, like whoever died in the universe. All who comes back is Malcolm
Goldblum, yeah,
Grant, and Laura Dern. I forgot her. Ellie Sadler.
Okay. Is it like when the original Ghostbusters show up on the newest Afterlife Ghostbusters movie? It's like that kind of a jaw-dropping moment when these old characters come back, or it's like not really?
They're interwoven into the plot. Basically, the plot of this film, it's the same as every other one. Hey, watch out for the dinosaurs. They run the world. Well, they don't run the world, but we coexist with them now. What they've added into this is Campbell Scott is the evil head owner of InGen or whatever the company is, and they've created a seed. This is a play on Monsanto, and the seed destroys crops and it's ruining our earth, and the locusts that feed off the seed, because it's mutated, they're getting bigger. So basically this movie should have been called Locust World, because the biggest threat in a world overrun by dinosaurs is locusts that are about this big.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool. They end up setting them all on fire in one part.
Wow.
There's a lot of animal cruelty in this film too, dude. I loved it.
Is there anything to like about it?
Just kidding.
What were some things you liked?
Well, listen, kind of like when you watch Airplane or Naked Gun or Scary Movie, when you have so much spectacle thrown at you or so much comedy at you, even if 90% of it doesn't work, 10% is going to. Mm-hmm. So there are some legit, like, small moments here and there of action that I'm like, wow, that looks cool, but nothing is above what I'd see in a modern video game or probably in the last Jurassic World. I don't know why it's called Dominion. Besides, it sounds cool.
Now that you've seen all 3 of this last trilogy,
No,
where
no,
does this
I
rank?
missed one.
Oh, you missed the
I
first. You missed the
one.
kickoff.
No, I missed the second one. I saw the kickoff in this one.
Okay, so you missed the middle.
Yeah. This is the worst Jurassic Park movie I've ever seen.
Out of all of them.
Easily. It's like I said, it's a mishmash of everything. It does not trust the audience. Dude, there's this new character, okay? I'm going to just describe the character. I want you to guess what gave them the motivation or what was the idea behind this character.
Okay.
So she's new. She's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
She's rogue.
Mm-hmm.
She loves her plane.
Mm-hmm.
But she has a heart of gold and is kind of helping out our heroes. Who does that sound like? Rogue pilot, but with a heart of gold. All right, I'll say smuggler, just to make it easier.
Oh.
Who does this remind you of?
Is this Jack Sparrow character?
Oh my God, Han Solo, dude.
Han Solo.
If you see her in the way she acts, like clearly this was, let's take Han Solo
I blew it.
and make this. You did, man. Damn it. My point's meaningless.
See, this movie is good, everyone.
I just didn't understand it. No, but it got so ridiculous about, and it's a whopping 17 hours, I believe.
Oh my God.
It got to a point where I was just starting to count how many scenes and shots were directly lifted from blockbusters that are superior to even the original Jurassic Park. There is a scene where, I'm not kidding you, a velociraptor breaks through the door. But I'm sorry, it's a velociraptor. It can't break through the door. That door is too, that's a heavy duty door. But its head could break through the door. And like I said, it did the same. It might as well have said, "Here's Johnny." This was a direct shot from The Shining. And I'm just kind of chuckling. And I'm like, okay, that's stupid. A couple scenes later, Bryce Dallas Howard is in like some swamp. And then like when she, reaches her head out, oh, there's Apocalypse now. I see you. I see you.
Okay.
Maybe 5 minutes later, there's some stupid chase through like a European city, and they jump from one building to the next, like one patio, one balcony to another balcony. The Raptor does, and Chris Pratt's on a motor. Who cares?
Oh.
But this shot, literally, Born Identity, just with a velociraptor. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool. The end, the best one. This is literally the scene, and I'm not spoiling anything. I mean, what is there to spoil? What do you think? People die or something? Nameless people die. That's it. The last scene of the film. All right, let's play the game again. Can you guess this?
Okay, here we go.
Beautiful, lush sun taking up focal point.
Okay.
Red sky.
Okay.
And now silhouettes of dinosaurs walking in front of it.
Indiana Jones.
Jesus Christ. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
This is literally, it's the Lion King, dude. It's
Gotcha.
They might as well have been singing it. There are so many parts in this movie that it's just uninspired.
It's almost
garbage.
like an AI robot, like just pulled
It
together a bunch
is.
of moments and kind of garbled it together and spat it out.
In other words, modern movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously. And it suffers, and I'm going to get into this when we discuss the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It suffers from, hold on, man. I even wrote this down. I wrote this down because this is a big gripe with me in modern movies, and Jurassic World did it, and Unbearable Weight did it as well. I call this perfect kid syndrome.
Okay.
Jurassic World, I wanted this kid to die the worst death ever seen on screen. There's nothing likable about this girl from the beginning. She's doing shit she shouldn't be doing. She's self-righteous. There's nothing, but because she's a kid, of course, the adults are all wrong because they're not giving her enough attention. They're not loving her. Dude, just nothing likable. And when you compare it to the original Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
those kids were endearing. That kid loved dinosaurs, looked up to Grant. The
Yeah.
other kid, she was endearing as well. Had a little crush on him.
They were looking for a dad.
I cared what happened to them. They weren't just emo crybabies who had
Right.
no character development beyond, I'm moody.
Thank you, Steven Spielberg.
Well, I don't. Well, yeah, Spielberg.
He gets it.
Yeah, he gets daddy issues. He even inserted them in The Last Crusade.
He gets it.
But dude, I don't. There's nothing to like about this person
Yeah.
at all. I don't care if she's a kid. There's nothing to like. No one to like. I don't spend enough time getting to know anyone to care about anyone. Chris Pratt can put his hand up like this 50 more times. It's not entertaining. And dude, just one of these dinosaurs are gonna. What is this, dude?
I don't know.
The Crocodile Dundee method of controlling dinosaurs.
And that was fire.
Yeah, movie's a joke. Skip it.
So, so I guess it wouldn't surprise you then, based on a few things that you said, that I think that this has the highest fan score on Rotten Tomatoes, but the lowest critic score, and has the highest fan score of the last three, that have come out. It's now ahead as far as the audience score is concerned.
And I just gave you a perfect explanation why. Lowest common denominator. Now, we're not going to bore you. You don't get on your phones. Don't worry. In another 2 minutes, something's going to happen. Please, come on, watch us. Watch us.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Was the original cast, were they kind of relegated to fan service, or did they have stuff to do?
It's like Force Awakens. I mean, even this approach is stupid anymore. They have stuff to do. But actually, Malcolm has nothing to do.
Yeah.
He has nothing to do. And he's barely in it, surprisingly. He has the least screen time out of everyone in it. Mm-hmm. He doesn't even show up till about the last 16th hour.
Well, Jeff Goldblum had things to do. He had better things to do than shoot this.
No, he doesn't.
Anyone does.
All Goldblum does is reprise weirdo characters from the past and then call Wes Anderson.
He is a weirdo character from the past. I think that's just him.
I know. I love Goldblum. I'm not shitting on him.
Stop shitting on Goldblum. So nothing to like. Tons of issues.
If you like video game cut screens and 3 hours of that, man, this is your movie.
Wow. So you're not going to be picking up the 6-disc box set.
I wouldn't even pick up the original Jurassic Park, and that's a good movie.
It is, but somehow you've seen them all, and I've only seen one.
You're not. You did the right thing. I did not.
Okay. So you can't recommend this at all.
I can recommend this to 5-year-olds, or, like I said, you're like every other modern American and don't care and just want to kind of bounce in and out while you stare at your phone or something. Yeah, it's a perfect movie for that.
Jurassic Park Dominion, out now. Another movie that we watched, though, that I just watched yesterday. I guess maybe you did too.
I did as well.
We just recently watched it. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent was released a little while ago, but it's coming out on physical media, and as a result, we decided to check it out and give our thoughts on Nicolas Cage's newest release. And, just to set the stage just a little bit, in case there's someone out there that maybe doesn't know what this is essentially supposed to be, Nick Cage playing himself, and it's supposed to be kind of like a send-up of him and his career, that sort of a situation. And I don't know where you want to go. I mean, what are your initial thoughts? Did you enjoy this movie? Did you not enjoy this movie?
I'm baffled by the critical acclaim.
Was there critical acclaim?
It felt like it on the trailer. I felt like I saw respectable sources citing this as excellent.
This seemed like
it wasn't just doing that trickery of like showing some quote of, hey, blah, blah, random person on Twitter said it's awesome. I seem to remember genuine, what once used to be reputable sources citing it as one of the best of the year and all that.
It seemed to me after watching it like this was a movie that had a great premise, but the execution sucked. I like the premise. I think that's such a cool thought that like
it is.
Even like the initial nugget, like what this movie became is a lot different, I think, than what they initially threw out there when this was even like being thought about. It's just like, Nicolas Cage playing himself is trying to like get some new movie role that he is like not able to get. And it's kind of like, this twilight of his career situation, and almost sounded like JCVD, which I wish.
My notes, JCVD comparison. Dude. I was going to say the same thing. And then I thought to myself, is that unfair? Because JCVD played it straight and this movie's not. And it's like, I don't know, kind of like you. I don't know if that was the intention, or was it trying to be more like JCVD and failed?
No.
But I'm with you. I thought the same damn thing. It's like, this is such an interesting idea. And for something to be so outside of the box like that, why did you choose to present it in such a generic way?
It was so generic.
It literally just falls into a beat plot action comedy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean,
it's like you can't write Nicolas Cage and then have Nicolas Cage play what someone wrote as Nicolas Cage. Like you said, he's not playing it straight. He's not really playing it as himself. He's kind of playing a parody of himself, which is a little bit over the top. It's a little goofy. It's what maybe people would expect him to be like in real life, but I don't expect him to be like that in real life. And I was hoping for something like you could have cut out all the CIA stuff. You could have cut out so many of the wraparound story and it just start off with like Nicolas Cage, regular guy, just needs some money. Somebody offers him some crazy role on some island. He goes there, and then real shit starts going on, and he's like in an action movie, sort of like JCVD. That would have been awesome.
It wouldn't let Nicolas Cage, the character, suffer. It almost felt like the filmmakers were too scared to maybe like treat it seriously. Like we all know that's part of the rumor is that he's bad with money and he's broke and that's why he does that. And they kind of touch on it in the movie, but not in any serious way to where it could have been interesting. Like that moment when he's really depressed towards the beginning and he goes in the pool and it's the scene from Leaving Las Vegas, only it's the dude jumping in and like pulling him out instead of Elizabeth Shue. That could have been really interesting if there was some genuine pathos going on with Nicolas Cage's character.
No.
But as it plays, it's just a Family Guy reference to Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's left me empty, left me cold. I will say, though, the first 15 minutes, I was with it. It wasn't until Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish showed up where I was like, uh-oh. And then they were saying fuck in every other word. And it took me right out of what little reality I was kind of feeling. I thought him and his fictional wife, I thought that was pretty good, what I saw of it.
I didn't like any of that.
I'm not saying it was great.
I just didn't like I think I was just put off by the fact that it's Nicolas Cage playing a version of himself that has rough relations with his daughter and is going through a divorce with his wife. And he's like, come on, honey, you didn't like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? It's like, it felt so forced. Like I didn't need that story.
See, I didn't, and I kind of feel that way. Even myself as a human being, I liked that. Because I feel that way even with my own stepson right now, where it's like I can't share anything with you because you don't care, and that stuff is important to me. I would love to sit down and show. I mean, not Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, but like RoboCop. I mean, he's a little too young for that, but something that's important to me.
Yeah,
but. Movies don't register to him. In his generation, they don't. I liked that aspect of it and like trying to connect through that. But like I said, perfect kid syndrome. It was like, well, that's your father too. Why are you mad that this dude's trying to share a part of himself with you? I didn't even get that. Like, why is he such a bad guy for that? Like all these things, it was like he was trying. I sing you the song. Yeah, it's embarrassing and stupid, but it's like he was showing you love. I guess it's just not the love you prefer, so he's a bad guy. He's your dad. And again, perfect kid syndrome. Like, what am I watching? What's the goal here? Just he should give up everything he is for you? It reminded me of Kevin Smith and Jay and Silent Bob reboot. And it's like, you both can coexist. You don't have to give up yourself because your kid is so incredible. Like, the kid can be incredible and you can too. Like, but again, the movie doesn't go anywhere near any of this stuff. It's not designed to. It's just meant to be part of the action thing where you got a problem with your kid. You're going to learn a lesson to love her for who she is and completely avoid who you are.
Unbearable weight of massive talent.
I'm ranting today.
Okay, well, now that your rant's over, now that I can get a word in edgewise, one, I think they were trying to sort of portray that all Nicolas Cage was interested in was sharing himself and not being open to his daughter's interests, which is why at the end when they watched Paddington 2, it was like, thank you for watching this with me, which, by the way, I've heard multiple people say the same thing. It's like, changes your life. You'll cry through. It's like, I really want to watch. I mean, why not Paddington 1?
I've seen Paddington 1. And you know what's funny? Paddington 1's a really good movie. So when I heard all these people say, honestly, I avoided it because I was like, I don't want to cry. I don't want to feel that way.
I can't go through this.
But supposedly it's great. I was like, I like the first one. Yeah. But I don't want to have some existential crisis after watching Paddington 2.
Seriously. But to come back to the point you were making, because I agree with you and basically everything you were saying, essentially all the family plot was half-baked. It didn't even need to be there. It was so forced. It was so terrible. Like you said, the perfect kid syndrome, just a reason to have some conflict. Start the movie, he's broke, he goes to the island and real shit goes down. He doesn't even have a family. Who cares? Like, does Nicolas Cage, is he even married? Like, I want the real guy. And I think the whole time I'm like, man, if this was even half the movie that JCVD was, then this could have really been something, even if it was up a couple of notches. But it just felt so flat in so much of it.
And that's where I'm torn on, because JCVD wasn't trying to be a comedy, an outright comedy. This was a comedy.
It was trying to be
that's where
a parody
I'm torn
of Nicolas
on.
Cage.
That's where I'm torn on whether or not the JCVD comparison
It's
is
just what I wish, I guess.
Yeah,
it's just what I wish.
And I'm with you. I wanted that too, but I don't know if I can fault this movie for not being it when I don't think that was the intention. It was meant to be a comedy first.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I laughed. Jesus Christ, there's this LSD joke. You ever notice that in modern movies too, modern comedies, where just the idea of taking drugs is the joke?
Just like, you want to do LSD? Yeah. And then there's
and that's funny in itself. Yeah. Like, just take LSD, dude. I will admit though, when they kind of go in acting mode and he's holding on to them, and there's no real stakes. He gets drunk. No. I was laughing at that, and that's kind of accurate of LSD too. So like, I thought like getting really stuck in that moment and all that. I thought that was pretty funny. I did laugh in that scene.
There were definite moments where I laughed. Like, for sure. There were moments where I laughed. Like, the Paddington 2 stuff was funny. The guarding Tess monologue with Pedro Pascal was funny.
Young Nicolas Cage having a Wild at Heart shirt on, that made me chuckle.
I couldn't put my finger on, was it just young Nicolas Cage, or was that a character from one of his movies?
That's not his character in Wild at Heart.
But so it's just young because
unless I'm forgetting something.
Dude, he was so bizarre looking. Like, I feel like they were doing some kind of facial tuning thing to kind of make him look slimmer and younger. But for like a second, he would look so like young. It would look like a young version, and then a second, he kind of looks scary. But that was kind of an interesting thing too, where he's talking to himself and all the Nicolas Cage references that pop up throughout, and that big like throne or like big like shrine of Nicolas Cage that Pedro Pascal guy has, like all those different things, and the statue, the golden guns. Like, it's grotesque.
You could do a lot worse than this movie.
You could. They did okay, but
but the praise is
and the promise of
hyperbole.
It is, and the promise of what it could have been. I feel like it's just a swing and a miss, which kind of sucks.
It does. I think this movie it would probably benefit from going in cold and not knowing what you're getting into. As far as it being advertised and pushed, and the expectations, in my opinion, were not met.
No, so
if you stumbled across it, I think maybe this could be like, wow, that was kind of funny and meta. But
and now that you've watched this video, it's ruined again. So you shouldn't watch it now either.
True.
But I don't know. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So it is out on Blu-ray. It is out on 4K. And it also is coming out in some gigantic box with like a t-shirt, I think, is involved here. A Massive Talent t-shirt. So if you're interested in getting a Blu-ray DVD digital t-shirt combo pack of The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nicolas Cage, Pedro Pascal, who you said you were on board for the first 15 minutes and then you weren't. I wasn't on board at all until he showed up, and then things started getting a little bit more fun. Good. And I was like, okay, maybe this movie is now going to take the turn that I was hoping for, and it's going to be a little bit more balls to the wall. He's like immersed now in this Nicolas Cage role, and this guy's really into it, and they're acting together. It's not some like sappy family drama that I was totally turned off by. Like, this is maybe now going to be good. And this is where the movie picked up for me, and then it had its ebbs and flows.
I was turned on by the sappy family drama, apparently.
I was
and even while watching it, I was like, man, this kind of feels like a 90s movie. And I was like, hey, that's cool. And then Tiffany Haddish and Ike Barinholtz. No offense to them, nothing against them, but just once it got there where he landed, and then it's some espionage shit. No, I'm going to actually use Nicolas Cage. Like, it would never happen.
Yeah,
it just took me out of the movie completely.
Agreed. They just needed a reason to set up like an action thing.
Yeah,
which
again,
you could have done it without that whole storyline.
I wasn't there for that. I will say, your boy, he was good, Pedro Pascal.
He was awesome,
and I'm with you because. The whole conceit is Nicolas Cage believes him, and he's so nice. You're like, is this guy doing this or not? I think he played it really well. I wasn't sure what was going on with him for the longest time.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he just played this Nicolas Cage superfan really, really well.
Cage is Cage.
Yeah.
You're getting Cage. If you want Cage, you're getting Cage.
So if you like Cage, get this Cage. Out. Sometime soon. Let me see. This is out June 21st, so it's very soon to be coming out. It's very soon. What's today's date? So June 15th. Yeah, so this is coming out next week. This gift set. So if you're interested, pick this up. Even though our review was not the best, it's worth a watch. You didn't even finish it. So there's that.
I didn't have to, dude. I missed the last half hour, right when it was getting into the action spectacle.
Okay. Well, now...
I mean, what was going to happen? He's going to die.
Maybe. There's some twists and turns, you know? You're like, I don't know. But as a result of this Nicolas Cage release...
I love how you let me go off on the whole movie and then pointed that out.
I'll just edit that out. And... What people listening on Spotify don't know is how much of Russ is missing from our YouTube channel. But
we have a YouTube channel?
We did. Let's give Nicolas Cage some high praise.
It's high praise.
Because I watched this movie too, and I was like, okay, Nicolas Cage really has done a lot of stuff. And even a lot of the references they made in this movie, like guarding Tess and some of the other silly ones that people love, even Con Air, I find to be really silly. His accent, like all of it. He's an icon. He's done a lot of crazy good stuff, you know, and I remember, I think we mentioned it on an episode a while back, you know, we kind of talked a lot about Bruce Willis and his method for choosing films. And, you know, you had kind of said that Nicolas Cage is in on his fame and notoriety, and he's kind of going after roles and kind of being in on the joke a little bit. And it's not that we're laughing at him. What'd you say?
He understood it right away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's something that I feel like has stuck more and more as he's gone on. And I think I even mentioned the interview I read where he was talking about how he's not an actor, he's a thespian, because actor implies that you are sort of, you know, pretending to be something, whereas thespian is you're drawing it from your inner self and you're becoming something because of some prior experience that you've had. And
Amen.
And that's why he said, I'm a thespian. And I actually appreciated that. Like when he said that, I feel like...
You know who else is like that?
I understood him a little bit more, I think.
You know who else is like that? And you could probably, if we pulled up his filmography, we'd have the same sort of issue with...
Who are we talking about?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Okay.
You pull up his filmography, you're going to find a bunch of shit, but you're also going to find, like, goddamn, you are incredible.
Yes.
And even in the shit, you are incredible. You know, I would put him in that. He's a thespian, not an actor.
Yeah, definitely. So I understood Nicolas Cage a lot more. Now I understand Samuel L. Jackson a lot more. But as you mentioned, Nicolas Cage has been in a lot of stuff, and there's absolutely no way to go through his entire catalog without spending 10 hours talking about each thing. But one of the first movies that I had heard of was Valley Girl that he was in. That was in 1983, but I've still never seen it. But I know you've shown me a clip or two here or there of it, and he seems to be kind of goofy in it. Is that wrong? I mean,
yeah, he's the kid. He's the guy from the wrong side of the tracks.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, little L.A. Valley.
Wrong side of the tracks.
Punk rock Valley. Yeah, dude. Nah, it's corny as shit, but it's a blast.
Is it?
It's 80s, man. That's an 80s movie.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
Well, yeah, that's early on in his career. It's the second thing he ever did, right past Fast Times, and he was just like as like a side cameo character. He wasn't even Nicolas Cage yet. He was just like a friend.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think he speaks in Fast Times, does he?
I think you might be right.
Maybe
there's
Eric
like a laugh.
Stoltz.
Does he take his shirt off in the van
I think that's Eric Stoltz.
Oh, okay.
Eric Stoltz is like, I'm not getting any lines. Well, here come my nips. I got to show out in this movie somehow.
Yeah. But I think the first movie that I saw with Nicolas Cage, and I guess still to this day is my favorite thing that I've ever seen him in, is Raising Arizona.
That's fair.
It's just, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's one of the earliest things he did. It was such an original, interesting, I mean, at this point, iconic character, and such a great movie to boot. But I mean, his portrayal of H.I. McDonough, the look, his vocabulary, you know, like, and I remember reading, I don't know if it was an interview with Nicolas Cage or if it was with one of the Coen brothers that were like, we kind of wrote the script for him as a person that reads a lot of magazines and newspapers, but doesn't understand like the words that are being used, but like repeats them sort of. And, you know, it's like that. And you could tell, like when you listen to the dialogue in this movie, if you haven't watched this in a while, just pay attention to the script. Like the language is so unique and interesting, not just because they're in the Midwest or something, because the words they choose to use are just funny. And his delivery of all this stuff, plus how he looks, and he's kind of like, you know, bumbling or whatever, it's just incredible. I mean, and you can go on and on about Holly Hunter, and you go on and on about John Goodman, and What's my boy's name?
It's a perfect example of why he is a great thespian.
Yes.
Could you picture anyone else in that role?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Not at all.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
No. Randall Tex Cobb makes an appearance.
Of course he does.
Shit.
In Moonstruck?
No, in Unpainted Arizona, I forget that guy's name. But yeah, this is just one of those, definitely a highlight in his career. His career starting at these Valley Girl, Moonstruck, Raising Arizona, starting here and ending up where it's at. He has taken such a wild turn, because you wouldn't expect, starting at Raising Arizona, that he would be, holding up the unbearable weight of massive talent at this point.
I don't know.
Could you have predicted that? I don't know.
No, but I can't predict any of his trajectory. Keep going.
Yeah,
his trajectory is weird as hell.
That's true.
He becomes an action star. He becomes a romance guy. He became a teen thing. Then he became a meta. Dude, his whole filmography is a journey.
It is. Well, Moonstruck is a movie, unfortunately, that I've only seen a little bit of, and from what I'm told, from what I've seen, his performance is praised. Now I know Cher won, and he just kind of got, maybe, is this the movie that broke? Or no, I guess these both came out the same year. Raising Arizona 87, Moonstruck 87. So I don't know which one got him the most praise or broke him out a little bit more than the other, but this one definitely was on people's radar.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I literally have nothing to say about it.
Nothing to say.
Was Coppola involved? Is that how he got it?
I have no idea.
You know he's related to him. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Anyone out there doesn't know, his real last name is Coppola.
I was going to say Nick Coppola. Jor-El Coppola?
Is it really?
Kal-El? I thought he was
No, he named his son after Superman.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Professionally known as Nicolas Cage. Let's see if we're wrong. Coppola family. Let's see, early life.
Or am I wrong? I know what his son's name is.
Are you wrong?
Damn it. No.
It doesn't say. I thought maybe, does it say? It doesn't say what his real name is. Born Nicholas Kim Coppola, not Jor-El. That is his son.
He named his son Jor-El.
You're wrong.
Because he's like a big comic guy.
No, I know. Now it's all coming back to me, Russ. Moving along, Russ. Let's overlook my
I know he's
failure.
Superman to you.
He's Superman to me. But you saw Wild at Heart, which is one that I have not seen. What's your take on Wild at Heart?
It's awesome, man. It's David Lynch, but it's the kind of David Lynch where you can follow it.
Okay.
You can watch it as a straightforward movie, but it's still weird as hell. He's hilarious in it. I think he's a perfect match for a film like this. His weirdo manic energy is perfect for that movie, and he's good in it. Nothing much else to say.
Who else is in this movie with him?
Laura Dern.
Oh, classic. The love interest. I was going to say classic. Yeah. James.
I mean, imagine David Lynch doing True Romance, and that's pretty much what it is.
Okay.
And that sounds awesome.
It does kind of sound cool.
That really is kind of how I'd describe it.
Okay. I like that. Maybe I should check it out. Has this ever been released on anything?
I'm sorry, which one?
Wild at Heart. Has this ever come out on a...
Someone put it out. Did Criterion put it out? It did come out, and I don't own it.
Willem Dafoe, Harry Dean Stanton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Willem Dafoe's crazy in this movie. Watch it for him alone.
I've seen some pictures I think you showed me. He's like a little wild looking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, how'd I forget? He's awesome in that.
Red Rock West?
Another, man. This one went under the radar.
1993.
This is an awesome movie. Dennis Hopper, Lara Flynn Boyle. It's one of those early 90s movies. It reminds me of Breakdown with Kurt Russell, where it kind of just went under everyone's radar, but it's good. It just isn't. It's not the type of good that's going to set the world on fire and catch everyone's notice. Yeah,
it didn't elevate in the theater.
Exactly.
Just kind of
no. But it's a great little. Just you watch it. You point A to point B. You don't know.
Yeah,
dude. It's passable, good, fun, old school entertainment.
Red Rock West, 1993 American neo-noir thriller film in 1993. And then in 1994, Nicolas Cage sets the world on fire with Guarding Tess as Doug Chesnick. I really thought it was funny the way that they did that little monologue with Pedro Pascal in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent about how him and his father bonded over guarding Tess. He goes on this whole rant about how he never got along with his father, never understood each other until one day he realized that he was Officer Doug Chesnick and his father was Tess. Thought that was pretty funny. I've never seen this
I
horrible
never
movie.
have
That's what made it funny. It's like out of all the movies
Who
to talk about in
has?
that film, guarding Tess, of course they're like poking fun at
I
this.
was
The movie's ridiculous.
I was actually questioning: is this like a rights type thing? They can only mention
a couple of different
movies.
ones. Yeah.
It's like, man, we got to go with guarding Tess. I
Yeah.
really wanted, I really wanted to reference Moonstruck here, but god damn it.
No, but the next year, from 1994 to 1995, Leaving Las Vegas. And this is the movie that he finally won an Oscar.
Yes.
After all these great films, he finally nailed it. Why did he win an Oscar for this one? I've never seen this movie. Why did he win?
He's fantastic in it, man. When it Leaving Las Vegas, it was 95, right?
1995.
Maybe since there have been better portrayals, but I'd say if you had asked me in 1995, best portrayal of an alcoholic ever on screen. He nailed it. He nailed it like perfectly. Best performance of a drunk, like in a serious way. Yeah, he deserved that Oscar for that. He knocked it out the park.
Because this movie's just a straight drama, right? There's
It's
no humorous.
It's depressing as fuck. Well, I don't know. I
mean,
mean,
we're
we're gonna
Nick Cage
we're
levity
gonna
in
get
there,
into
or-
it here in a minute. We're gonna get into it. I'll save my deeper thoughts for when we get there.
Okay, yeah.
But no, it's a dour movie. There's nothing happy about it at all. No.
Okay. But then it's funny that like he wins this Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas, right? And then almost like right after it, he does a trilogy, if not a quadrilogy of just really silly movies, like over the top action movies. Like all of a sudden he's now an action star. Like The Rock, Con Air, Face Off,
City of Angels.
City of Angels. He's he's not an action star there, but those three alone are just big, gigantic action movies that, again, watching Con Air back then, it was kind of a thrill. There's a lot of extra people in there too that make that movie really fun, and the movie is entertaining, but this is clearly a movie that you can also watch not as a serious action movie and just as a movie to laugh at because it's so damn over the top and
That's
dumb.
why people still know it.
Yeah.
People are watching that movie as a comedy.
His-
It's the 90s Roadhouse.
His accent alone is worth a laugh every time he talks.
I'm sure you there is a God.
Like it's almost like he's winking at the camera, like he knows with his skullet, you know.
I was
He's
about to
like
say, his mullet is winking at the camera.
all of it, the whole thing. You
Dave
know?
Chappelle. I
Yeah.
mean, like, dude, it's a comedy. You're right. That one, there's no excuse.
No.
Or The Rock, I could understand. I guess you had Sean Connery. Michael Bay wasn't seen as a joke quite yet. Bruckheimer's producing. You just won an Oscar. 1996. These movies were still respected.
They're hot.
in a
Yeah, let's
way.
do something cool.
Face Off, dude. It's John Woo. I mean, of course, why not work with John Woo? Even if this premise is silly as hell, you're working with John Woo. I get that.
And John Travolta.
So what did he do after City of Angels?
Dude, Face Off is fun.
No, Face Off's awesome.
Dude,
I like Face Off.
Face Off is fun. We watched it not that long ago, and I hadn't seen it in years. And rewatching it was definitely a blast, and it's definitely still kind of. I mean, like I said, it's just like Con Air. Back then, you were thrilled by it, but now it's like you're laughing at it.
It's better than Con Air as a film.
Have you seen Con Air?
No.
Well,
but,
I knew that. It's what are you talking about?
all right.
But then. So then he tries to, dive into something new that he's going to sink his teeth into and really show off his acting chops. And he stars in 8mm. 8mm. Did you see 8mm, Russ?
I think I did, and I gave you this DVD like 20 years ago.
You did give me the DVD. Yeah. I saw this in the theater. This was from the writer of Seven, but instead of being directed by David Fincher, it's directed by Joel Schumacher. And it looks like a Joel Schumacher movie that's trying to take subject matter like Seven, but in a much more perverse manner because it has to do more with sexual violence and that kind of thing. So again, it just kind of ups the ante a little bit. But now you have it's in Joel Schumacher's hands.
Well,
and it just comes across as silly a little bit.
Well, Joel Schumacher's known for gritty realism. Have you seen Batman and Robin?
This is the Batman and Robin prequel, 8mm.
This is the Batman and Robin of the Seven genre.
I mean, there are moments.
This is the Batman and Robin of the snuff film genre.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell what they're trying to make this movie, and you know, in a way, they do make it work, and it just becomes its own kind of thing. But I don't know. At the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff, especially Nicolas Cage's performance. There's parts where you kind of laugh out loud at. Do you remember this movie at all?
No.
I'll probably end up cutting this out, but there's like the one scene where like the guy that has been helping him, kind of like the butler or whatever. You find out that the butler's like in on it, and he was like there, or he was part of like making the snuff film or whatever. And Nicolas Cage is so pissed off because he's been betrayed. He's like, "Oh, you watched it? Did you like it? Did you come? Like, did you like that?"
Thank you. You know I'm grabbing that as a clip.
Dude,
you know I'm grabbing
exactly,
that.
dude. It's so laughable when he says that, and he does it in like a Nicolas Cage way that I definitely didn't do justice. So we'll have to add the clip in there. But yeah, just there's certain scenes like that are just funny. It's dumb as shit. And I'm almost positive, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive the guy I'm talking about, who he's talking to, is that same dude from Silence of the Lambs that's like running the prison, and he's like a total douche. I'm pretty sure it's that same guy.
Oh my god, what is? Yeah,
I'm just gonna like fact check that really quick, but Peter Stormare, yeah. What's that guy's name? Let me see, I could be
Anthony
wrong.
Held.
Yeah, that's him. American character actor known for portraying Hannibal Lecter's jailer. So he's a piece of shit in this too. But moving right along, Bringing Out the Dead. Nicolas Cage, I read an article not that long ago where Nicolas Cage, or no, wait, it was a Reddit AMA, and he was asked, what are your favorite movies you've ever done? And he said Pig, he said Bringing Out the Dead, and he said, I think it was Vampire, what's that vampire movie?
Shadow of the Vampire?
It might have been that, yeah.
He doesn't star in that though.
Vampire's Kiss. I'm not sure, but this was one of the movies he said was one of his favorites that he had been in his top 3. What is your take?
It's bad. All right. It's everything I love. It's Martin Scorsese. It's Paul Schrader. Obviously, this is what Paul Schrader does. A dude who is crazy, taxi driver, blah, blah, blah. He's done it a billion times. It's the worst easily the worst of any Paul Schrader and Scorsese collaboration.
Damn.
It's at the bottom of Paul Schrader. Like, I would put Rolling Thunder above this. I would put Cat's Eye above this.
Why do you think this is Nicolas Cage's favorite then?
I don't know. Maybe he had a blast making it.
What's his performance like?
Didn't he marry Patricia Arquette? She's in it.
Yeah.
Maybe he met her on there. I don't know.
I will say
the
notable?
trailer was badass where they used that Clash. I think it was Janie Jones, that Clash song they used in it. I love that trailer. It's not like like I said, when I say it's the worst of Paul Schrader or Martin Scorsese, that's still kind of a compliment. That's better than most people.
Yeah.
So it's worth a watch. It's not terrible. It's just when you're in the hands of people like that are capable and have delivered these themes to you before in much more profound ways, it just kind of feels, it just feels like been there, done that in a way.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it's interesting.
Interesting.
I'll say that. It's interesting.
It's interesting. Well, after his stint with Martin Scorsese, he goes into another like he goes into another action overload with Gone in 60 Seconds, and then you've got, later on down the I guess it's not. I guess that we kind of like split these up. But it's Gone in 60 Seconds is the next thing that he did, which is another huge action movie, which I saw in the theater. I forgot his name was Memphis Reigns.
Why did you see that in the theater?
Dude, I don't know. It's like same thing with like Pitch Black. 2000s was just like people were going to the movies to go to the movies. I saw a lot of movies in the theater in the 2000s for sure. Yeah. So I definitely saw that, and I've had fun with it. Angelina Jolie, those cars were cool. His performance was. I'd have to go back and see it to say if it was good or not. But I remember having fun with this movie. I don't know. And they referenced this in that Unbearable Weight film also, which I thought was kind of cool. So then after this, we've got, again, another one that I hear people talk about all the time, National Treasure. Like, people apparently love this movie. Why? Why, Russ? Is this like Indiana
Nicolas
Jones or
Cage.
something?
I've never seen it.
But as far as the movie itself, it's like,
I don't know. I've always heard I've never seen the Mummy movies either with Brendan Fraser, and
Yeah.
that's the first thing everyone says to me. It's
Yeah.
like Indiana Jones, and I mean that's the vibe I got from National Treasure.
2004. Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. The vibe I got from National Treasure was more of a Pirates of the Caribbean took off, so Disney was like, let's do another adventure like in that kind of style.
Treasure movie.
Obviously, Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've never seen it. I don't know.
What about 2005's Lord of War, where he was also producer?
Lord of War was a good movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is that so?
I don't know. Because there hasn't been one yet in a while that you were like, yeah, that was a good movie.
Well,
Until now.
we're skipping over some big ones. I mean, Wind Talkers is incredible.
You mean Wind Talkers? The 2002 masterpiece where he plays Joe Enders?
You know what Wind Talkers I'm talking about. Stop playing coy.
Wow, look at this.
Stop caging me.
This was also John Woo,
Exactly.
Noah Emmerich, Mark
It was
Ruffalo,
Noah Emmerich.
Christian Slater.
Ooh, they got.
Why was Lord of War so good?
It's just a serious movie. It's done well.
Is it serious?
Yeah,
I thought it
mean,
looked like a national treasure. Am I
dude,
wrong?
It's got Ethan Hawke. It's got him. It's got Master Thespian Jared Leto.
Ooh, that's probably
No,
why I missed
it's
it.
just it's good. Again, I'm not suggesting you need to run out and watch it tomorrow, but it's solid.
Okay.
It's a solid movie.
All right. I think starting around, maybe it's after he got out of the Wicker Man remake and he got out of Ghost Rider and stuff like that. I feel like his acting career sort of took an interesting like turn in like 2000, like the late 2000s. And Bad Lieutenant I never saw, but that's like is that a sequel to the Harvey Keitel version, or is he the Harvey Keitel
In name,
character?
he's not the same character.
Okay.
It's a sequel, but it has nothing to do with. It's basically just the title is the same. That's it.
It's not as turned up as the original.
In different ways. It's not as turned up in a morbid, graphic, like
You get to
scuzzy way.
You get to see Nicolas Cage's dick.
Yeah, it's nothing like that, but it's more turned up in the Nicolas Cage way of going full Cage.
Got it.
And it is good too. It works. Like him and we'll go, but Val Kilmer's in it, so it's coming on 4K soon.
Damn right.
No, but it works. His energy worked with what Bad Lieutenant was, and placing it in New Orleans, like the original is in New York, obviously.
Yeah, port of call.
Yeah, honestly, this is a movie where if he wasn't over the top and crazy, it wouldn't work.
Werner Herzog.
I know.
I had no idea.
Wild.
That is pretty wild.
The whole why this movie even exists is wild. Like how many people out there? Oh, we need Bad Lieutenant too.
Yeah.
And Werner Herzog's the guy to do it.
Yeah, where's Werner Herzog when you need him?
Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, that always seemed interesting to me that was a movie that came out, and I never saw that either. The only thing that I had seen, so I watched Gone in 60 Seconds in 2000. The next movie of Nicolas Cage's that I watched was Kick-Ass in 2010. So I hadn't hung out with Nicolas Cage for 10 years, and I really liked him a lot in Kick-Ass.
I did too.
I mean, I thought that movie was pretty cool, and his character in it was probably one of the best parts.
And look, so we just spoke about Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call. That was 2009. Now we're talking about Kick-Ass 2010. I agree with you 100%. He was great in Kick-Ass, but notice what I just said. In Bad Lieutenant, his ultimate meta, crazy, zany Nicolas Cage persona is what made it work. I bet you like him in Kick-Ass for the same reason I do. He grounded it.
Yeah.
He's like the main grounded character in that whole movie.
True, yeah.
And that's what I'm trying. This man is versatile, and I've always defended him because of this. And he's in On the Joke. But yeah, dude, he's great in Kick-Ass. He's the only thing in that movie that has a heart.
No, that is true. That is true. And
And think about that, because this is Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Normally, it's the opposite.
and spoiler alert. I hope we're not spoiling a movie that's 12 years old at this point. But when he dies, you like feel that shit.
Yeah.
Like because like you said, like he grounded it. He was the heart in that movie. He cared. He was kind of badass too. Like he just was a really great aspect of that movie. I thought that movie was fun in general. He just fit that universe.
It wasn't bad.
He just fit that universe really well too.
Yeah.
I just liked him as Big Daddy. Damon McCready, otherwise known as Big Daddy. The Croods, another movie that they sort of mock a little bit in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I actually did. I actually thought this was funny too because my son has watched all the Crude movies, and one day I just kind of was listening. I wasn't watching, and I was like, "Is that Nicolas Cage in an animated movie?" And sure enough, he's the father of the caveman tribe that is in this movie, and my son loves it. And I have to tell him who he's watching because my son has seen Raising Arizona, so he knows who the guy is that's doing that voice, and it's pretty cool. But I think the thing that Mandy was a movie that when that was announced, there was so much hype around that as being some, crazy, wild, I don't know, like Nicolas Cage fest where you're going to get some turned up to 11 Nicolas Cage with some insane, ethereal visuals and all this kind of stuff. And I saw that movie based on the hype alone and the trailer and everything else. This was now in 2018. So far cry from the Crudes back in 2013. Because he's done a lot since then. We kind of passed over a lot of his VOD career. But Mandy was supposed to be like him exiting that VOD career for a second or being in something that could be taken a little bit more seriously in a cult sort of way. I don't know. Am I wrong?
I don't think I think you're operating under this assumption that he believes he's in some metaphorical cinema ghetto.
No.
I think he's in on the joke. Mandy was direct to video. What did that? That didn't.
I don't know. Was it
theaters? Well, that had a wide release.
Why do you think that Mandy was one of these? Why do you think this one stood out so much versus some of the other ones that maybe people mocked, whereas this one wasn't being mocked upon announcement?
Stylish.
Does that you think that's the only reason?
It's
just
stylish. It played directly to a specific audience,
and the rest is just playing to like a Nicolas Cage action video on demand.
The rest of them aren't even playing to Nicolas Cage. The rest of them are just content and product. Where Mandy, and I didn't like it.
I didn't
but
either.
Mandy had artistic merit, and I guess that's why. And like I said, the type of audience they were going after ate it up. They loved it.
Yeah,
and, that's cool.
I don't know. This was a movie that I just did not care for that much. We could probably talk about this for like 20 minutes, which we won't. But I had a lot of problems with this movie, and it could have been nitpicks. I'm not sure. There were things that I wish were different, or that I just thought like this movie just seemed overblown or overhyped or something. Nicolas Cage does his job. I mean, he does a great job in that. The material. He's chewing through the material.
He wasn't the problem in it for me.
No,
not at all.
He's definitely not. He's chewing through that material really well, and it is stylish and whatever else you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, it kind of just fell a little bit flat for me.
Same.
And then there was this other movie called Color Out of Space, which was this other sort of H.P. Lovecraftian sort of film that got a little bit of a critical indie acclaim as well that I did watch. And it was strange. It kind of wasn't Mandy strange, or I guess it's strange in its own way. I mean, if you look at Mandy as being the stylized sort of revenge movie, this is like some sort of mix with Annihilation and that segment in Creepshow where Stephen King gets absorbed by the grass. Like a mix of that.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah, so like that is maybe a blend of those two things.
Now I'm watching it. I want to see Nicolas Cage start growing grass out of his body.
It's like a meteor hits and it starts to change the atmosphere and the surroundings, and people start to change as a result, and kind of whatever. Yeah. But it was a little out there.
And I think that might be my issue with why I didn't like Mandy and why that didn't interest me at all. I think, to me, Nicolas Cage is more interesting when he is the outlier, where I feel like in these universes, everything's crazy. Yeah. So it's just like, you're just part of the weird squad now, right, dude. Your world is Nicolas Cage now. Yeah. And I don't think that's as interesting to me.
I agree. That's just like that 2021 Willy's Wonderland, where some like amusement park comes to life, and like all the rides and all the little marionettes or whatever are all just trying to kill him. Like you said, like this movie is nuts. Like you don't stand out. And you see it in the trailer. He's like cranking up the chainsaw.
Wait, dude.
He's like doing all this stuff.
I watched some of that.
Oh, what'd you think?
Oh, it was terrible. I turned it off.
Well, there you go.
And you know what's funny? He's credited in it. I don't even think I saw him in it.
He's in it. He's the main character in it. Willy's Wonderland? He's the main character.
I'm thinking of a different movie. What's the other one that it was like a clear Five Nights at Freddy's?
I'm not sure.
There was something like that I watched.
I don't know, but that Willy's Wonderland is exactly what you just said. And then that same year,
it was the Banana Splits movie. Never mind. That was terrible. It looked exactly the same though. Sorry, I just derailed the pod completely there. Pig.
Moving on. In that same year, Pig, which, again, it went from some batshit crazy movie to Academy Award winning Nicolas Cage credit on the damn trailer. It's like, it's so interesting that, you know, like you said, he's versatile. He's got range. He can jump from one movie that's nuts into one movie that's serious. And this is a movie that I really enjoyed because it was so subdued and it was just acting. It was calm. It wasn't over the top Nicolas Cage screaming and getting revenge and all this stuff. There was moments in the trailer and I feel like moments in the movie where they try to make you think that's what's going to happen, but it never does. And I really like this movie for that. You saw this or no?
No, I did not.
Dude,
I was interested in seeing it.
It's fun. I was going to say fun. It's 90 minutes. You know, it's definitely a really meditative sort of piece on family and loss and all this kind of stuff that I feel like it has a really great heart. It has a really great resolution. I think in general, it was a really good movie for him. And he named that as one of his favorites he's ever been in. And then right after that, 2022, here we are, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which we just talked about, kind of being disappointed by. Wishing that this movie did do the justice to his career that it maybe could have, the way that a JCV did for Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He doesn't need it.
But it would have been cool to do it.
Why? He doesn't need it.
Because this was a missed opportunity.
For what? Actually, you just said it yourself. The film he did right before this was a critical acclaim film that showcased his great acting. He doesn't need this. This is just him playing into the perception. And he's been doing that from day one, and that's why he keeps succeeding. When other people were turning their noses up at VOD and all that, he was diving right in. It's almost like maybe he's a tech guy and he knew like, hey, 10 years from now, the theatrical experience isn't going to mean anything. It's all going to be streaming anyway. Let me get in on it.
Well, I guess
he was ahead of his time is what I'm saying.
I guess I thought that this movie was not going to be about a take on himself as much as it was just going to be about him. And when I watched this, I was like, I'm going to get Nicolas Cage and whatever storyline they're going to give to him. Sure, there's going to be something written, but how he was acting, it was a parody of himself.
I know, but I'm talking about
I don't like that.
What you said, like what JCVD was to Van Damme's career. I'm saying Nicolas Cage doesn't need that.
Oh, he doesn't
JCVD
need that. Yeah.
needed that.
No, he didn't need that for his career. He's going to keep on having a career. I guess I just meant it would have been nice if that was.
No, I agree with you on what you said there. Yeah.
And he's about to be Count Dracula in a movie called Renfield, which I'm very interested to see, at least the trailer for this thing, to see what he's doing as Count Dracula. Could you imagine? I can't imagine. I don't know. But that's out in 2023.
I'm just picturing the Grindhouse trailer.
That is out. That is out in 2023. So Nicolas Cage, I don't know what to say. I love you.
I know how to end this this segment. Watch Shadow of the Vampire, a movie he produced. Excellent film.
I've never seen that either.
Dude, Willem Dafoe. It's great.
All right. Shadow of the Vampire. So if you've learned anything here, it's watch Shadow of the Vampire.
It's about the making of Nosferatu.
Oh. Well, does he really love Dracula? Like, what's his Renfield shit?
That's why when you said Renfield, well, I'm not that shocked. He's got a lot of vampire stuff in his background.
Okay. Well, moving on from Nicolas Cage, to wrap up today, we thought we would give our newest recommendations of the week.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And Russ, I know that you've typically been going first and kind of sharing with the audience your favorite pick. Would you like to go first again? Would you like me to go?
I would like you to go first.
You'd like me to go first? Okay.
Because I know you haven't seen my film. And I've seen you showed me your film, and I'm on board. You converted me to this one.
Okay. So let me grab it. So my selection or my recommendation for the week is a movie starring Matt Damon, of all people. And while my first two recommendations that we kicked off with were Hands on a Hard Body and The Untamed. And in those two situations, those were movies that I feel like are unsort of heard of, and that's why they're underseen. Whereas I feel like this is a movie that you may have heard of because this was a Steven Soderbergh movie and Matt Damon's involved. Maybe you just didn't watch it. And I feel like this is criminally underseen and is a movie that should be seen by all, and it is called The Informant. I'm actually going to take that out of the slipcase here because there's a big sticker on it. And that's called The Informant with an exclamation point. So this is probably, I mean, like Good Will Hunting. It's hard to argue that, there's that's such a great movie that he's in. It's such a great performance. It's Oscar worthy and all that kind of good stuff. And I don't know that this movie, removes that as my favorite Matt Damon movie, but this is definitely my second favorite Matt Damon movie of anything that I've ever seen him in. And I love this movie so much because of how damn funny that it is. And I never expected to laugh at Matt Damon. I never expected him to be sort of the comedy relief in a comedy movie. Like, he's in funny things. He's not like, this isn't like completely out of his realm, but he's usually not the one that you're laughing at. And just looking at this cover, just this poster alone, I just laugh at that face. I mean, I just laugh at what he looks like, just like this character with this mustache and this oversized suit and these silly ties that he wears. He's just funny to look at. And then you kind of get into this character and this performance, and it's just incredible. And I feel like one element of this movie that really caught me by surprise, not to mention the movie itself, but what caught me by surprise was how much he's kind of a different kind of character than I've expected him to be over the years, as well as a lot of other actors in this movie that are known for being in comedy or known for being stand-up comedians, period, and they're doing a serious role. And he's doing this funny role. So in general, there's kind of some tables turned, in general. You've got Biff in there.
You do.
And you've got a little Scott Bakula.
Count Bakula.
But the performance is just so ridiculous. You can't help but laugh just by, the situations that he's in. And just for people that don't know, this is a true story of a guy who blew the whistle on his own company for some price fixing scheme for like food additives. That's like some company that he works at, and there's some price fixing going on amongst the industry, and he's sort of blowing the whistle on it. And then he becomes part of a sting operation with the FBI to take down members of his own company. But through the movie and through listening to his inner dialogue, you kind of learn to realize that he's not only is he an unreliable narrator, but he's also probably just crazy. He's probably like nuts. And it just becomes this interesting journey to go along this movie to kind of think like, is this really happening? Like, who is this guy? Yeah. How is this going to turn out? And again, this is a true story with, they have a little epilogue at the end. So it shows you how, everything turned out, but great twists and turns, great performances. I'm not a Steven Soderbergh fan, but I feel like this is definitely an underseen gem of his. I would recommend this to anybody that wants to laugh.
I would too. I would recommend it to anybody. I think it's hilarious. And Matt, you showed me this film. I'm eternally grateful you did. I immediately purchased it afterwards.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, cool.
Same as you. I like some Steven Soderbergh, but his name doesn't put my ass in a seat immediately. And so I skipped it too. I think the problem with this movie being underseen, it's too intelligent.
Could see that.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The setup, even he's a whistleblower at a company. Blah, blah, I mean, just people don't watch things like this anymore, and you're missing out on a great comedy. The way, like you said, the way they utilize the narration in it to where you slowly kind of understand, like, wait, this guy's fucking crazy.
He's crazy. Yes.
And it's almost like a slow burn of like how off the rails he is. And like you said, Matt Damon's great in it because he's so optimistic and just got the smile on his face. And it's, dude, and this is one of the movies you got to watch King of Comedy. I would compare King of Comedy to this, where you're getting De Niro kind of being like, you don't see De Niro like this typically, but it's also like he's fucked up. You know what I mean? But I'm with you, dude. This movie it's a blast.
It is. And just those inner monologues that he has, think of, for people that maybe haven't seen this, but maybe saw, American Psycho, like think of those inner monologues that he would have, Patrick Bateman would have sometimes that were a little humorous, kind of funny, take on the situation. But his inner monologues are like off on some topic that is just so outlandish and bizarre that who is even thinking of these kinds of things? It's just such like a, what do you call it?
It's like he had ADD.
Yeah, yes.
There's some
it's like
mental
word
disorder.
salad or something.
Yeah, so where like he'll start talking about something in the narration that's actually relevant to the scene and what he is doing, but then it'll go to a word, let's say ant, and then he just starts going off rambling
like
about what ants do and how ants are good at this and that.
Yes.
And it sounds kind of annoying if you were like a voiceover narration with that in it. But nah, it's hysterical.
Yeah, every time the narration comes on, I'm just ready to laugh. It's so good. It's an interesting sort of kind of like a mystery a little bit in a way. Like, cause like I said, you don't really know what's going on. You kind of think you do it at first and then you're not really sure because of the unreliable nature of what he's telling the audience until it finally ends up and you're like, finally get what's going on. And then you come to find out the true story. The guy really was sort of like bipolar and schizophrenic and all this kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of the things go on in this movie that do. So I don't know. It's insanely funny. If you're a Matt Damon fan at all, definitely see this movie. And even if you're not, and you want to just, like I said, laugh at like an intelligent comedy, this is definitely the way to go. I highly recommend The Informant. Russ, what do you got?
That's a great recommendation. Well, since this is Nicolas Cage Day, I decided to go with the movie that got him the Oscar, Mike Figgis, however you pronounce his name, masterpiece, Leaving Las Vegas. To fit our theme, prior to this film, Elizabeth Shue had only played a prostitute who had been ass raped in Back to the Future 2. So she's going against type in this one. Very
against type. Is that the theme here? Against type?
Against type.
Okay.
I mean, we touched on this going in on Nicolas Cage's filmography. I've never seen a better portrayal of an alcoholic. Not to get too deep on this podcast, but I have a history. And man, he nails it. He nails how pathetic it is. How, like, there's parts in this movie where he'll just have random outbursts. Where he's having a great time and he just does it so well. And that kind of plays into, I guess we view it comedically, but when it's toned down through alcoholism, like his mannerisms and that, it's excellent. Little setup. Do you know anything about the setup, Matt?
Very little.
Well, the Sheryl Crow song, Leaving Las Vegas, was based on the book that this is based on, but that song doesn't really say shit about the movie or the book. It's a man who, and I like how the film, well, let me just set it up.
Okay.
It's a man who decides to burn everything he owns, move to Las Vegas, and drink himself to death. And nothing's going to stop him. That's the setup. And I like how it sets it up. You just dive right in. You see him, he works in the film industry. You see him messing up his job. You see him messing up his connections, and they let him go. And that's when he decides, fuck it, I'm just going to go die. And it alludes to he has a kid and he had a wife, but it doesn't even tell you. It's you're living his life. So he even explains it one way. He says, I don't remember if my wife left me because I started drinking or I started drinking because my wife left me. Fuck it all anyway. You know, and it's like, shit, dude. He meets Elizabeth Shue. She's a prostitute. They form a relationship, but he can't have sex. He's an alcoholic. It don't work. But he's desperate for companionship in a way. And she knows she needs it as well. She's going through some stuff in her life. And so it's an unlikely partnership. But the one caveat is no matter how close we get, you will never tell me to stop drinking. I am here to die.
Damn, that's crazy.
And that's what the story is. It's dark. It's dark. You asked me, is it funny? It's one of those dark movies for me. I've seen so much. It's kind of unintentionally funny. Mm-hmm. This is a bad example because in my opinion, Scarface has comedy in it anyway. But you know, the first time you watch, say, Scarface, you're not really laughing as much because you're following the plot. You're following it all. It's not a traditional comedy. You watch Scarface again, you're laughing your ass off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, Leaving Las Vegas is one of those that gets so dark in moments, I can't help but laugh. But it's well done. It's the performances are incredible. He's incredible.
Yeah, how's Elizabeth Shue?
She's great too. And like I said, at that point in her career, all she was known for would have been Karate Kid, Link. I mean, that's what most people think.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Adventures in Babysitting, Soap Dish, Back to the Future 2. She was the girlfriend. Yeah. She was the girl next door. She was that, you know. And this, she held her own in a pretty dark performance. She carries it. She has gravitas to it. I believe her as being sort of hard in this world.
What did this movie do for her career?
She got taken seriously after that. She got nominated for an Oscar. She did fall off kind of again, though. But that happens to a lot of actresses that win Best Actress, especially in the 90s.
What was she in after this that was big?
That was big.
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
that
she's
was
popped up. She's had a good character actress kind of career after that. I'm fond of the Piranha remake. I'm fond of Mysterious Skin. I'm fond of dude. She's pops up in a lot of stuff. We should
Wait,
pull
she's
it
in
up.
Mysterious Skin.
She's his mom.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's mom. Like I said, she does that. She always kind of just showed up. But there's a big difference between Mysterious Skin and Leaving Las Vegas and Karate Kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, to me, this is the movie that solidified her as a serious actress.
And who's the director? Figgis. What has he done?
Nothing else that I care. I know he did one other movie. And actually, I think he did a movie that she starred in after this that I didn't even watch, and it got panned.
So I saw, after Leaving Las Vegas came out, the next thing I saw Elizabeth Shue in was Hollow Man.
I like Hollow Man.
Hollow Man's badass. Yeah, she's the girlfriend.
Hollow Man, again,
that,
like Verhoeven, it was a little unfairly critiqued. Like, I feel like nobody got the satire of it. Mysterious Skin. Like I said, the Piranha 3D is surprisingly strong. She's great. I mean, Link. Have you seen Link?
I have not seen Link. But Mike Figgis, it looks like he has directed...
He's big time. Look at this.
He's directed quite a bunch of stuff, but nothing that even has close to
Stormy Monday is on my
cachet.
list of movies to see. That movie looks awesome. If anybody in the comments has seen Stormy Monday with Tommy Lee Jones, let me know if I should check it out. I've had my eye on that one for a while.
Okay, I guess like maybe his earlier career was better, because really after that, I don't really see anything else here. I mean, he directed an episode of The Sopranos, so.
I mean, rumor has it he fell into alcoholism after this movie. He succumbed.
Sorry, Mike. I apologize.
Whoa, that's him right there.
There he is, back in 2011.
It was like Art Garfunkel.
Figgis. So is this like a blind buy situation, Russ? Is this something that you would recommend to everyone? Is it not for everyone? I mean, it won an Oscar, so I mean, or he won an Oscar, so I feel like it's got to have some universal appeal.
Yeah, it's a really good adult
Drama.
depressing movie. But the thing I like, this was still at a time when you could make serious films about something like substance abuse and not have it be like Requiem for a Dream. Mm-hmm. And that's not a knock on Requiem for a Dream. But when I say that Leaving Las Vegas is dark and dour, it's dark and dour in a world that you'll recognize. Mm-hmm. It's not overly stylized, like, holy shit, everything's going fast and slow. You know, it's not, it's a movie. You are living with this character. You know what I mean? And it is. It's entertaining. It's just not uplifting. And those are movies that are up my alley, honestly.
Entertaining.
And I think a lot of people who are like me, who kind of likes nihilistic worldview kind of movies, I don't feel like this one gets mentioned a lot. People don't state Leaving Las Vegas in the same sentence as like Taxi Driver or something. Not that it's Taxi Driver, but I think if you were into darker movies, maybe this one didn't go on your radar because of the Oscar win and, you know, Nicolas Cage, Elizabeth Shue. It's solid though. Check it out. I'm even a fan of the soundtrack. I even like
what's on the soundtrack.
I like a lot of loungy jazz. Sting does like 2 lounge jazz songs, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I love both of them.
Is it Walk Through Fields of Gold?
Hell no, dude. Don't insult me like that. He does Angel Eyes. Hold on, let me see if I can remember. It's Angel Eyes and The Very Thought of You Makes My Heart.
We're gonna get claimed. We'll get claimed for that.
Who cares? Nobody's listening to the fucking soundtrack.
Did you ever see the prequel Honeymoon in Vegas?
That I did not.
Okay. And spoiler alert: does he live or does he die?
Why am I going to spoil a movie I'm recommending people to check out?
All right. I mean, I was just going to spoil it for me and cut that out of the episode, but never mind.
All right.
No, don't tell anyone. Of course he. Now I really want to know. Of course he fucking lives, or of course he fucking dies.
Do you honestly? Do you think there will ever be a scenario where you will actually check this out?
I'm going to be honest with you. There are movies that, after us talking about certain things, like Risky Business, as an example, and this one, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, like I'm being like inspired to watch some things. I
don't feel like this is one of those.
Really?
Risky Business, I feel like, you're probably going to check that out, so I'm not spoiling it. I feel like this one, it's like, all right, I heard Russ say it's good. I'd watch it, but you're never going to make the time for it.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm saying that is if you want me to spoil it, I will do that for you.
Don't spoil it for the audience.
But spoil it for you.
Maybe once we're done here.
Okay.
If you want to.
Okay.
But you would recommend this to the audience if you're looking for a tough
and I would
time.
recommend it to you, but you're asking like blind buy.
Right.
You asked me how it ended.
Before I decide if I buy it. How's it end?
Don't worry. The new modern way of watching movies is it'll take you 5 views to decide if you like it or not.
True. I gotta watch a bunch of
Shout out to the Northman.
Well, Russ, thank you for that recommendation. And I hope you all enjoy these recommendations. Let us know below if you want us to keep these coming. I really enjoy sharing some of our favorite movies with everybody out there. And if you're watching this, share some of your favorite movies with us. What are some movies that we should be watching that we aren't, or maybe you don't know if we have, and you would love us to take a look at or check out. But as far as The Informant, as far as Leaving Las Vegas, give them a watch. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting physical media. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for clicking like. Thanks for clicking dislike. That lets us know certain things.
Tim Dog can eat a big fat dick. I got nothing.
We blasted our nemesis Tim into oblivion with our Craft 4K versus Blu-ray review. I hope you all appreciated that. Just so you know that we don't take any shit from anyone. We take the most petty approach possible to gain our revenge.